But instead, they got promises. Healthcare is not a campaign promise. It is a covenant between the government and its people. And tonight, I can assure you that the Free National Movement will honor that covenant. We will pay what is owed. We will invest in the workforce. We will modernize our hospitals, and we will make sure that whether you live in Nassau, in North Andros, or in Maguana, that this system works for you. Our government will develop a comprehensive health workforce plan, and this will ensure that the Bahamas is able to train, recruit, and retain the right amount of healthcare professionals to meet a rising demand for care in the years ahead. We will redevelop the Princess Margaret Hospital on its current campus, and we will upgrade the Rand Memorial Hospital. We listened to Bahamian doctors who warned that the hospital upgrades are needed, and we will deliver on the long-promised multi-story medical, surgical, maternal, and child health facility at Princess Margaret Hospital. We will issue in the expansion and modernization of the Rand Memorial Hospital in Freeport. The Bahamian people have waited long enough for a government that treats their health care as a priority. That government is coming, and that government is the FNM.
FNMs, our young people, our elderly, and our communities. These are the heartbeats of this country. Our next three candidates have spent their lives proving it. FNMs, please welcome Therese Boodle, Philippa Kelly, and Captain Travis Robinson.
FNMs! FNMs North Abaco! I grew up in Cooperstown, Abaco. I went to what is now S.C. Boodle High School. I was head girl. I became a teacher. I went back to my community and gave everything that I had to the young people in my classroom. Because I believe then, and I still believe, that education is the most powerful investment a nation can make in itself. I became the first woman from Abaco to be appointed as a Family Island administrator. Not because the path was easy, but because I refused to let anything stop me from my destiny. When Dorian came, I watched my island get torn apart. And when the storm passed, I stayed. Yes, I stayed. I have led the recovery efforts. I sat with families who lost everything and made sure that they knew someone in authority saw them, heard them, and was willing to fight for them in North Abaco. What I learned from Dorian is what I already knew from my classroom experience. When government shows up for its people, communities recover and survive. Our young people in the Family Islands are being asked to leave home to find better opportunities. That ends under the Free National Movement. We will make pre-primary education universal. free preschool for every Bahamian child. Because the foundation we built in those early years shape everything that comes after. We will modernize schools' curriculum and reinvest in teachers, including greater investment in housing support for educators serving in the Family Islands. We will implement a phased school bus system that will start by allowing uniformed students to ride public buses free of charge during school days, ensuring that transport costs never become a barrier again for education. We will restore and upgrade infrastructure of Abaco destroyed by Dorian and the neglect of the past almost 5 years in Abaco. And for the families that need more than education to survive. Right now, Philippa Kelly has been their voice in Eleuthera as long as anyone can remember. Come on, Philippa.
Get involved, don't be no fool, stay in school.
FNMs! Central and South Eleuthera! I grew up in Savannah Sound, Eleuthera. I know what it means to live in a community where the government shows up at election time and disappears the morning after. I know what it means to watch your elderly neighbors struggle for basic dignity they have earned after a lifetime of service to this country. I know what it means to be a mother, a coach, and a community leader, doing the work that the government should be doing, because the government simply isn't there. Social services in this country are in crisis. Families in need are waiting months for assistance that should arrive in days. Elderly Bahamians who built this country are being asked to survive on a support that does not reflect their worth. Children in vulnerable situations are falling through cracks that a properly resourced system would never have. This new FNM government will strengthen protection for the vulnerable people, including women, children, the elderly, the persons with disabilities, and the homeless. We will ensure that laws, social programs, and community service provides security and support where it is most needed. A society is judged by how it treats those less able to protect themselves. And we will not fail in that duty. We will strengthen the partnerships that with civil society organizations and expand funding and support to those civil society organizations. This government had 4 years, and still the waiting list grows longer. I'm not speaking about statistics. I'm speaking about people I know by name. And what gives every one of those families hope, what gives this whole country hope, is a generation of young Bahamians who are ready to build something better. And that generation of voice is on this stage tonight.
FNMs, make some noise! Fort Charlotte is not for sale. And they know who I'm talking to. I became a member of parliament at 22 years old. People ask me why. Why so young? Why not travel, build your career, make your money and come back later? My answer was always the same, because later is too late for the young Bahamians who need change right now. I look at young people in this country, in Nassau, in Abaco, in Eleuthera, in every corner of this archipelago. and I see brilliance. I see creativity. I see young Bahamians who can compete with anyone in the world. And I see a government that has given them no reason to stay. Youth unemployment stands at nearly 21%. That is not a statistic. That is a generation being left behind. And the answer is not charity. It is opportunity. And for our athletes, our musicians, our artists, our junkanooers, this country's creative economy is one of our greatest untapped assets. The incoming FNM government will provide $100 million over 5 years to support Bahamian entrepreneurs, ensuring that they can benefit more fully from our tourist industry by way of tax incentives and subsidies under one umbrella. This will focus on business built on culture, like live Bahamian music, one of our proud cultural exports, including Rake and Scrape, Calypso, and Junkanoo, alongside cultural reviews, theatrical productions, and Bahamian dance for all ages, as well as other Bahamian-owned businesses linked to our orange economy. We will also refurbish the National Performing Arts Theater, ensuring it has the facilities required to show the world-class showcase of our performing arts heritage, with a sufficiently resourced arts director and a year-long calendar of events, including the likes of the National Youth Choir, the National Dance Company, the National Youth Orchestra, and the National Children's Choir, with approved privately funded shows also offered for visitors and citizens. The brain drain is real. Young people are leaving. Therese stayed. Philippa stayed. I stayed. We chose this country, and we are asking every young Bahamian watching tonight, choose it too. Choose to build here. Choose to stay here, because the Free National Movement is choosing you. We will open doors. We will fund the dream. We will build the Bahamas that your talent deserves. This is your Bahamas, and we are going to build it together.
Right? Yeah, we just getting started. Because every Bahamian has the right to know how their money is being spent. Can I get an amen? Under the FNM, accountability is not optional. It is the foundation of good governance. 2 attorneys, 2 relentless voices for transparency. FNMs, please welcome Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis and Adrian White.
And let me tell you what the Lord has done for me.
FNMs, welcome to Kalani. I'm an attorney. I've spent my career in litigation, in public law, and in the defense of institutional integrity. And tonight, I want to tell you something that every Bahamian needs to understand. Something this government is hoping that you don't look too closely at. Freedom of information is not a privilege. Freedom of information is a right. It is your right to know how your money is being spent. It's your right to know who's making decisions on your behalf. And it is your right to know whether the people in power are serving you or serving themselves. Now, this government, they promise transparency. They promise to fully implement the Freedom of Information Act. They lie. What did they deliver? a system that is weak, a system that is not fully working, a system that leaves us, the Bahamian people, without real access to truth. And let me tell you why that matters. Transparency is not tested when things are going well. Transparency is tested when money is being spent and contracts are being handed out. Over $400 million in sole source contracts. That's no competition, no transparency, no proper disclosure, and under the weak system they have kept in place, you can't properly ask who got that money, why they got that money, and what you, the Bahamian people, got in return. The fact is, this government has fought accountability at every turn, and that tells us everything we need to know about what they're hiding. Because a government that's doing right by its people, they don't fear transparency, they welcome it. Now let me be clear about this. Your Free National Movement will not run from transparency. We will legalize it. We will bring anti-corruption laws with real power. A public anti-corruption bill, a code of conduct for public professionals, and a comprehensive Independent Commission of Investigations Act. We will strengthen disclosures. We will enforce compliance, and we will make every public official accountable to you. Because transparency is not a slogan, it's a system. And while this government avoids the questions, our man Adrian White in the House of Assembly, week by week, standing up, demanding that they answer.
So please don't waste my time, 'cause I'm going all in with Adrian.
Let me hear you say hot, hot, hot. That's right, that's right. Now, let me tell you how this government works, ladies and gentlemen. If you know the right people, if you donated to the right campaign, if you sat at the right table, if your name appears in the right contact list, the doors of government are wide open for you. Contracts, opportunities, public money available, no competition required. If you are everyone else, the door is closed, and they have made sure it stays closed. $400 million in sole source contracts, no bidding, no competition, no transparency. Just here is the contract, here is your money, and the Bahamian people will never know why you were chosen. Your money handed out in the dark. Senator Barnett Ellis is right. The Freedom of Information Act they gave us is not a window into government, it is a wall. It was designed to look like accountability while delivering none. And that was not an accident. You do not keep a law weak by mistake. You keep it weak on purpose because you have something to hide. The FNM government will fully implement the 2017 Freedom of Information Act and give citizens the power to hold government to account. We will strengthen whistleblowing protections, including ensuring there is a single whistleblower hotline across all government activities, that whistleblowers have appropriate statutory protections. Corruption is not a mistake. It is a choice to abuse power, to misuse your money, and to put friends and family over you. Under the PLP, that choice
has been tolerated for far too long. They talk about transparency, but hide the truth. They promise accountability, but avoid scrutiny. They ask for trust, but refuse to earn it. The Free National Movement will end that cycle decisively. That is our commitment, and that is the Free National Movement.
I tell you we was gonna have solutions, but it don't stop there. We have an entrepreneur, a community builder, and a global ambassador. 3 Bahamians who know what this economy can be and what is standing in the way. So please join me, FNMs, as we welcome Denali Penn Mackey, Lincoln Deal, and our champion boy, Rick
When the votes
Fox.
are called up, Donnelly will be standing taller, ready to face the darkest and hottest of times. She'll be taking care of all the children thereof, and if it's required, she'll be on the front line. You can call her by her name. Donnelly is ready to roll.
FNMs, Southern Shores in the house. Southern Shores in the house. Woo!
I am a small business owner in this country. I started Evergreen Mortuary in 2003 with a commitment to serve Bahamian families with dignity, with honesty, and with care. 23 years later, I am still here. Not because it was easy, but because I refuse to quit. And I can tell you exactly what this government's relationship with small businesses look like. It's invisible. I know what showing up looks like because after Hurricane Dorian hit Abaco, I went there and I fought for families in the most difficult times of their lives. That is what you call service. What this PLP government has offered to small businesses for 4 years in opposition, I love to celebrate what this PLP government has offered. The only thing they've talked about is tourism record. Record arrival, record numbers, record this, and record that. And I want to ask them, record for who? Because the small business owners, I know we're not seeing it. The Bahamian tour operators, the local restaurants, the local family owners of these small gift shops, the water sports vendors, the funeral home operators, they are competing for crumbs while the big businesses collect the feast. A government that is serious about small business does not count tourists alone. They don't just count tourists at the airport. It asks where those tourists are spending their money. And it builds a system that makes sure that the monies for Bahamians stays in hand. I want to report tonight that the FNM will reform VAT and business license laws to cut all the red tape, to simplify compliance, and to modernize payment timelines so that businesses can focus on serving customers instead of fighting paperwork. A simpler system means lower cost, better cash flow, and more room to grow. But here's the truth, my FNMs. Before any of that matters, A Bahamian entrepreneur has to survive the process of opening in the first place. And can I say this? The process is so hard. The process is designed to break you down. And there's nobody in this room that knows better than Lincoln Deal, because he didn't just experience that. He fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and he won. And he is here tonight to tell you all about it.
F&M's, make some noise! Freetown in the house! Freetown in the house! F&M's, I want to tell you something that happened to me. I tried to open a business in this country. I had the idea, I had the plan, I had the drive, and the government said no. Not once, multiple times. No explanation that made sense. No clear pathway forward. Just no. So I did what any Bahamian who believes in this country should do. I took them to the Supreme Court. And by God's grace, we were successful. But listen here. That should never have been necessary. What it takes to be an entrepreneur in the Bahamas, you fight the very government that should be your biggest supporter. I have started 6 companies, have created jobs, brought new industries into this country in tourism, agriculture, technology, hospitality, and every step of the way, the system has been designed to slow you down, to wear you out, and to make you wonder, is it worth it? The red tape in this country is not an accident. It is a filler. It keeps people without the connections, without the right last name, without access to the right minister. It just keeps them out. And it keeps opportunities concentrated on the hands of a few. Bahamian entrepreneurs are world class. They are creative, they are resilient, and they are hungry. What they need is a government that gets out of their way, opens the doors to capital, cuts the red tape, and treats them like they are the economic engine they already are. The F&M, we will unleash Bahamian enterprise by slashing red tape, fixing critical infrastructure, and investing $100 million directly into the Bahamian entrepreneurs. We are going to do that so our people can start businesses, grow their businesses, and own a greater share of this economy. We will also promote the Provisional Business License Initiative that allows low-risk, small and medium-sized businesses to begin operating immediately. This will get entrepreneurs in business faster with less red tape so they can commence their business upon registration. And Rick Fox has spent 30 years showing the world what Bahamians can do when we actually open the door.
Yes, thank you, Lincoln. F&M! F&M! Garden Hills, we outside! F&M's, we inside! Bahamians, I stand here tonight united with fellow leaders and team members who refuse to accept the direction our country is going in. I am here to fight, to defend, to facilitate for all Bahamians, to bring the world to the Bahamas, to bring investment into our economy, which will create real opportunity for our people. Because the Bahamas we all love today is operating below its potential. It is time we bring a championship mentality to everything we do in our country. The Bahamas should be a place the world comes to invest, to create, to grow, with Bahamians leading the way. And when we get that right, our small businesses will become big businesses. And with big businesses, we will generate real global impact. Which with real global impact, what do we get? Expanding revenues for our people. Because when money lands here, it must land in Bahamian pockets first. We know people come from everywhere in the world to experience the Bahamas. We know that, whether they come for vacation or for business. But we are not turning those visitors into opportunities for local people fast enough. Take, for instance, our people who serve in pivotal industries, such as our boating and yachting industry, okay? An industry being decimated at this very moment by fees and permits that are pushing boaters to other destinations. When boaters choose not to come here because we keep increasing our cruising permit fees without data or reasons, that means what? Fewer people come to our restaurants. Fewer customers come to our stores. Fewer jobs are happening in our communities. And that is the reality of what is happening today. We can't tax people if the taxes are driving them away, especially Bahamians. The global economy, my friends, my fellow citizens, the global economy is moving fast. The AI explosion is here. Green energy, new industries. This is where the next generation of Bahamian wealth will be created. If we keep pushing these opportunities aside and away from our shores, our people, us, our country, will be left behind. Look, I've spent my life developing global business relationships in these very rooms I'm talking about. I am bringing those opportunities home. The Bahamas has every advantage to lead. When the PLP has blocked growth, we will unlock it. Where they have overregulated, we will create room to build. Where they have pushed opportunity away, we will bring it back. This election is about one thing: who benefits from our economy? I say, not the few who control the purse strings today. I say the Bahamian people, and we will work for you to ensure that that happens. We will bring the world's economy to our shores. Bahamian families, Bahamian businesses will come first. That is what the mission is. The future of our country and our people. And we are the team that will do it. We are the Free National Movement. Yes!
FNM's give it up for your leader!
I'm pressing on the
Michael
upward
Richard!
way. New heights.
Get up, FNM's, get up! Not that Prime Minister!
Still praying.
Member of Parliament from Marco City!
Lord, plant my feet on higher ground.
Lord, lift me up! Lord, lift All right, level, level, level. Oh, Lord, y'all, they gonna kick us out. They gonna kick us out. Y'all better behave. Everybody say it ain't long now. Ooh, say it ain't long now. When I say FNM, say hot, hot, hot. FNM. FNM. All right, y'all behave now. Y'all behave. Level, 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 level.
Red and never scared.
Level, 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 level. Oh, Lord, they can kick us out. They can kick us out, y'all. Y'all better leave the people in the hotel alone. Y'all come off the wall. Get down off that wall. That's joking. That's joking. We got to get back to serious business, FNMs. We got to get back to serious business. Because there's an issue plaguing this country that we got to fix. And I'll tell you about it right now because keeping Bahamians safe is the most fundamental duty of any government. A former minister of immigration, a managing attorney, the shadow minister for national security. 3 voices this country needs to hear on immigration and national security. Please welcome Heather Hunt, Ellsworth Johnson, and your deputy leader, Dr. Shannon Dawn Cartwright.
What the Lord has done for me. Stop, FNM. Tell you what the Lord has done for me.
FNMs. Oh, y'all look good out there, FNMs. I am a mother of 3 daughters. And every morning, when we leave the house, I think about the country that they are growing up in. I think about whether the streets are safe. I think about whether we are doing all that we possibly can to safeguard our nation's sovereignty. And every morning, under this government, I am deeply disturbed. Everybody knows that we have a serious problem securing our borders. Everybody except the PLP. This immigration crisis is costing us. It costs us in the hospitals, where resources are stretched by patients who have no documentation and no payment pathway. And it costs us in education, where classrooms are overcrowded and services are strained. And it costs us in providing enough homes for those with the right to be here. So that's why the FNM will launch a commission of inquiry, a strengthened whistleblowing hotline, and a permanent independent oversight board for immigration. This structure will review every citizenship and residency decision. And this structure will expose the people corrupting the system. Our hotline will offer protections and rewards for tip-offs. FNMs, it's time we protected our citizenship. And I want to be clear. Every human being has dignity, and we welcome those who follow the law and who come to our country the right way. But things have gotten out of control, and this government is choosing to look the other way. And the full weight of that neglect becomes even more clear when you hear from someone who actually held the immigration portfolio, Ellsworth Johnson.
FNMs! FNMs! It's war time! War time! Yamagro!
I served
as the Minister for Immigration of this country, I know what a functioning immigration policy looks like. I know what the tools are. I know where the gaps were, and I know how this government could have solved them. They chose not to. What Heather Hunt described at our borders is the result of years of inadequate investment in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, in our Coast Guard capacity, in technology, and in personnel needed to monitor and manage a nation of islands. These are no surprise. They are predictable consequences of a government that treats immigration as a political talking point rather than national security imperative. What Senator Barnett Ellis described with our voter rolls is even more alarming. When documentation is compromised, the consequences ripple in everything. I serve in that immigration department, and I can tell you, you can't fix the system if you're not ready to make the difficult decisions. As part of Operation Shield, we will heighten surveillance on our waters, establish the Immigration Reservist Body, and expand biometric tracking for deportations. We will enhance coastal monitoring in partnership with CARICOM and the United States agencies to deter smuggling, while trained reservists in every family island will support our immigration teams. The Free National Movement will be a serious government, and no one will hold the standard higher than a shadow minister for national security. Our deputy leader of the Free National Movement, the Honorable Mr. Shenandoah Cartwright. Wartime!
Shenandoah Cartwright.
F&Ms! F&Ms, are you ready? F&Ms, can you feel it? The next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is here, our leader. As the Shadow Minister for National Security for the last 4 years, I've watched this government fail at the most fundamental duties a government has, keeping the Bahamian people safe. Tonight, let me be direct with you. Bahamians are being robbed at gunpoint, in broad daylight, and the government's answer has been press releases and statistics that do not match the reality people are living. You cannot spin away the fear a business owner feels when they open their door every morning. You cannot reframe the grief of a family that has lost someone to violent crime. Our defense force and our police need resources, training, and leadership that matches the scale of the challenge. They've been asked to do more with less, year after year. What kind of government cuts insurance policies for the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and their families? The PLP did. The F&M will protect those that have sworn to protect us. That's why we will rebuild our national security infrastructure with more resources for the Defense Force and the police. We will stop the abuse of bail to high-risk individuals to keep them off the streets. And while we respect the independence of the courts, an F&M government will aggressively appeal questionable bail decisions. We will put a greater focus on preventing crime before it starts. The F&M will separate first-time youth offenders from hardened criminals, and we will treat the protection of women and children as a top priority. We will ensure that survivors of sexual assault are counseled, supported, and protected. Our plan is grounded in reality. The Free National Movement will keep you safe and work for you. F&Ms, are you ready? Stand up, F&Ms. We have the better plan. We have the better team. And we have the better leader. Good night.
FNMs, FNMs.
We work for you, and we got
FNMs. It's Grand Bahama in the house. Yeah. Now some of y'all missed it in Grand Bahama, but we got the boss lady in the house from Grand Bahama. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for the first lady, Mrs. Berlice Pinton.
They don't say it's down, they fly from coast to coast. Don't care about what they spend when we know what to do here at the end. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
Good evening, F&Ms. Good evening, Bahamas. To our party leadership, past and present, to every supporter here tonight, every volunteer, every candidate, and every F&M from Inagua to Grand Bahama, thank you for being here or listening in. This is indeed an exciting night. I can feel the energy in the room. And I know that we are all eager to hear from our leader. However, before he comes, it is my pleasure to share with you more about the character of this man. If you spent any time with my husband, you will know that he is a man of passion and purpose, a man who is principled, a man of faith, a man of action, and a man who will work hard for you. When I first met Mike, and I told my dear mother, God rest her soul, about him, of course she wanted to know about his faith, his work, and his roots. But she had another important question. She wanted to know how he treats his mother. My mother was a wise woman. She understood that the way a man loves the woman who raised him tells you almost everything you need to know about the man he will be. She was pleased with what she learned because Mike had a wonderful relationship with his mom, Mother Laura Benson, a relationship built on love, respect, and on genuine gratitude for everything she poured into him. That devotion never wavered. It endures to this day. I remember my first conversation with Mother Benson. She told me of all the prayers she prayed for Mike. She told me how he had evolved from a mischievous teenager into a determined young man. And she told me one story in particular that still resonates. She was called to the principal's office after Mike was involved in an altercation at school. Of course, she was very upset.
However, the administrator asked her not to be too hard on him because the investigation had revealed that Mike was not the instigator. He was not the aggressor. In fact, Mike had been on the other side of the campus until word reached him that a friend was being bullied. And he went to help his friend. You see, Mike has always been an advocate for the disadvantaged and people whose voices are ignored. That has never changed. F&M's, it never will. Mike's journey to this moment was not easy. He earned it through years of service and through sacrifice. Throughout his political career and through hard-fought campaigns, he has been battle-tested and is ready to serve. For as long as I have known him, Mike has been dedicated to serving his community, and he has taken that responsibility seriously. Just ask the people, the great people of Marco City. They can attest to this. Truth be told, Mike and I never imagined he would have this opportunity to lead our nation. But he has embraced it, and everything he has lived through has prepared him for this moment. I have seen him in the quiet moments when there are no cameras and no applause. I've seen him working long nights when the calls are constant and the issues are complex. I've seen him in early mornings already preparing for the responsibilities ahead. I've seen the discipline and resilience it takes to keep going when the weight is heavy and the road is long. In those moments, I have never seen him step back. He leans in, he listens, he plans, he works, and he prays. He keeps going. This is not something you develop overnight. It comes through experience, through challenge, through a genuine belief that leadership is about service, not status. I leave you with one more picture of the man I know. When we brought our daughter home from the hospital, she refused to sleep unless she was on my chest. Mike insisted that I lie in the center of our bed, and he literally built a fort around me and Michaela with pillows from every room in the house and kept watch all night to make sure we were safe and comfortable. Our daughter is now a teenager, and just as he protected her then, on that first night, he is committed every single day to building a future filled with opportunities for her and every child and young person in this country. Tonight, I am not asking you simply to believe in a name or a title. I am asking you to consider the kind of leader this country needs right now. I submit to you, as his wife, as a mother, and as a proud Bahamian who has watched this man answer the call time and time again, that leader is Michael Pintard. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my husband, the Member of Parliament for Marco City, the leader of the Free National Movement, and with your support and the grace of God, the next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Michael Clifton Pintard.
Are you ready, soldier? Hey!
saying, on the side of any man who is doing something meaningful, it's a powerful woman. Thank you, Burleys. Tonight, we stand at the crossroads. And I want to say my F&M family, my Marco City family, my Bahamian family, good evening. My being here tonight is really an unlikely story. It's a story that started with me and my family moving from rental home to rental home in Angliston, Florida Core, Jenny Street, 7th Street, Washington Street, Coconut Grove Avenue, all while I was still in school. We moved to Yellow Well at least twice, Arawak Avenue. We moved often. My mom, Sister Laura Benson, who hails from Cat Island, a single mother of 5 children, who represents many of the women in this room and women who are watching at home. A powerful, resilient Bahamian woman. No, we didn't have a whole lot of money, but she worked hard to make sure that we had food on the table. We had a roof over our head. And even though in that moment I didn't fully appreciate it, she was covering us with the prayers of Almighty God. And it was those prayers that sustained us then and have brought us here tonight. We were taught discipline, values like fairness and treating others like you wanted to be treated. That's what I got from my mother. I love my father, but I can tell you day after day, I thank God for my mother. You know, even more, we were blessed with a mother who believed that her children, if they work hard, if they followed the guidelines that she laid down, and if we never forgot who we were and where we came from, we had a legitimate shot to make it. And so tonight, that's what we wish for our children in this nation. We wish for them to follow values that would give them a fighting chance. That if they work hard and smart, that we would create a country where they could realize their dreams. And so this Cat Island woman tonight, I pay honor to her as I honor the women in this country who, despite all the difficulties, continue to build. Some of you may be like her. She used to be a housekeeper. She was a baker. She owned a small takeout restaurant. But most of all, she was a prayer warrior. Like some of the men in this room, like some of the women in this room, like Bahamians all over this Bahamas who are praying for our nation because they know we can be better. And she prayed in good times, in bad times. She prayed. And like so many mothers today, I'm here to say to you, thank you for all you have done in those difficult moments. And I thank God for the women of the Free National Movement who have answered the call. You've seen them, the candidates that have come across this stage tonight. Thank you. And so tonight, you've seen our 41 candidates. And there's something very simple and powerful about the men and women we have assembled. These are persons who have faith, who believe in hard work, and they are prepared every day to work on behalf of the Bahamian people until we achieve as a people our full potential. And so tonight, I know that the dignity of hard work, I've learned it at home. I learned it from I was young. I learned that The truth of the matter is, I've learned through being a welder's helper, a carpenter's helper, a mason helper. I've learned that supporting my education at the College of the Bahamas, having to take jobs as a security guard over Paradise Island, or working at McDonald's, or being a work-study student. I was committed to supporting my education, and I recognize that every single type of job has dignity. And the truth is, some days, even when we work hard, it isn't enough for many Bahamians to put food on the table. But what do? We work harder. That is the message we want to give to our children, that we never give up, we never give in. And I remember all the lessons learned from all of the jobs that I've ever held. And that's why I see every Bahamian who wake up early and show up at work to give a hard day's work in order to earn a pay to support their family. The Free National Movement, we are here tonight, all 41 of us, to say, we see you, whether you are a landscaper, a security guard, whether you work in a fast food restaurant. We see you and we work for you. I'm proud to have worked with so many creative Bahamians in writing plays or publishing books of poetry or political satire. I'm proud to have stood on the stage with Bahamians not often recognized who've spoken at almost every school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm proud to be a part of Bahamians who may not have been in the traditional occupations as doctors and lawyers. So I come to you tonight auditioning for the CEO job in this country. And no, I'm not the traditional doctor. I'm not the traditional lawyer. But the truth is, most of you aren't either. But it doesn't devalue what you have to bring to the table in providing transformational leadership for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That you are no less qualified than anyone who has come before you. All of us in the Bahamas, all of us in this room, and if you're in Key West Street tonight, you, like the rest of us, inside of you is greatness. And I believe that you deserve the same kind of representation that the businessmen from out east or out west get from the government that you elect. We are here to provide that for you. But I know many of you in this room, you are asking a painful question. Why does life in this country feel so hard? Why does it appear that we are so unequal? Why is it that we struggle every day? Far too many Bahamians are on the hustle. I want to say to you tonight, FNMs, I want to say to you, fellow Bahamians, that our country is at crossroads. This general election will decide if the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will work for the majority of our people or just a few. I believe our assignment is to work for all of our people. It's unfortunate that the Prime Minister keeps telling the Bahamian people that all is well, things are going well. I want to ask you a few questions tonight. Feel free to answer. Is your light bill lower? Is your rent lower? Are prices in the grocery store going down? Is the healthcare system improving? Is your country putting Bahamians first? Do you really trust the PLP to fix any of these problems?
No.
Despite how you have answered, how thousands of Bahamians around this country continue to answer, the Prime Minister continues to brag about how this is the best the country has ever been. the best it has ever been. Maybe it is the best it has ever been for him. I ask you, is this the best we can do as a country? Is this the best the Bahamas can be for all of its citizens? If it isn't the best, we have some decisions to make. Tonight I want to talk to you about the kind of Bahamas you and I can construct together, the kind of Bahamas that is possible. But it depends on the nature of the government and the nature of the people we select, so that we can have a team that will finally work for all of you. The Prime Minister would have you believe that the cost of living and the struggles that you face every day, that you are experiencing, is really, really entirely about your choices. You remember he made this statement. You see, he refuses to take responsibility for any of the policies he has put in place or failed to put in place that has put burdens on the back of the Bahamian people. See, they want you to look at the political stunts they pull off, the big announcements they make for projects that seldom see the light of day. You know, announcements they are very good at. Completing projects is where they run into problems. And so for years, for 4 years in fact, they've kept back on basic food items and medication. They've used your taxes to pay their own bills and to live their best life, getting richer through sweetheart deals and no-bid contracts and luxury travel with Gussie Mae groups. They tell you that they are running a surplus that I'm sure if you were to look at the records, the truth is we are not in the best financial shape that this country has ever seen. It's a lie that they have told. Right now, tonight, there's a minimum of hundreds of millions of dollars of unpaid bills. This money is money that the government of the Bahamas owes to Bahamian workers, to nurses, doctors, police officers, contractors, small business owners, and many others. Ask the customs officers how much they owe them. People who did the work, delivered the goods, and provided the service, and are still waiting to get paid by this government. But every month, the salaries roll in to the policymakers. And if one of us gets sick, we could get the best insurance money could buy. But many of our people are unable to get the most basic care. And insurance says, where you put me? Under this government. The national debt has exploded to nearly $14 billion. That's billion with a B. But they say we are making record revenue. The question I ask, where has the money gone? The question that's still relevant is, where has the VAT money gone? I have a few suggestions. It's going to pay approximately $250 million over the last 4 years have gone to the consultants hired by the Progressive Liberal Party. Instead of fixing electricity and water supply in Eleuthera, are you in the house? Or fixing it in Michael, or paying doctors and nurses and contractors for the services they have already provided, or putting medication in our clinics, or buying fire engines and ambulances so our people can have dignity and protect their assets. Where has the money gone? They've wasted it. Our healthcare system, Dr. Dwayne Sands and the team laid out a compelling case that we have not done sufficient to take care of our people in our healthcare system. The fact is that just recently, the head of the Doctors Association, a woman who has served for 22 years of her life in this system, said publicly that the Princess Margaret Hospital is the worst she has ever seen it in her life. Another health professional said it is the worst in 40 years. But tonight, we are saying to you, take heart. We will correct these problems. We'll stop doing what the government is doing. They've taken 6-7 months before they pay doctors who provide services, to pay lab workers who are doing diagnostic tests. You see, one of the challenges we have is that many of our doctors have to borrow money to sustain their practice because the government refuses to pay on time. The truth is, they've squandered our money. You see, you've squandered our money when you decide that you will give more than $400 million in direct awards with no competitive bidding. We have no way of knowing whether or not we're getting the best price or the best service because there is no competition. So the question is, who are they working for? They're working for a handful of families, a handful of companies. We are here tonight to make a commitment that we are working for you, the Bahamian people. No matter what color you wear, no matter which island you are from, we are working for you. Our vision for the Bahamas, and I want you to hear me, is we wish to build a country where every citizen has a fair shot at competing for the same opportunities the PLP make available to the selected few. Where you can own a piece of the rock and have a seat at the table. You see, the beauty of competition is we get to determine who's giving us the best price, who possibly has the best service. We want you to be shareholders in every aspect of this society. You can't privatize BPL, and for all of us who have suffered under BPL, you don't even have an opportunity to buy shares unless you could come in at $49,000. Is that right? And so tonight, we come to bring you a different group of leaders. We come to bring you an administration that is unlike this administration that is trying to decide who eats and who starves. They are trying to determine who gets the opportunity and who keeps knocking on the door. Listen, even a member of parliament of the PLP just recently said, on his feet, in the public, that the PLP administration took his constituency contracts. It was directed from the PLP headquarters, and they gave it to someone else. It's an absolute shame. So to all of our candidates who are here tonight, I want to speak to you plain. All of our candidates. I want to be clear. We will not behave in that way. To every F&M official, every F&M candidate, we will not tolerate the behavior that has caused this public to no longer have confidence in policymakers. The F&M is under new management with a new generation of leaders. And among the new leaders is the largest number of women who have ever run for any party in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Colleagues, I have confidence in you. I believe this country will repose its confidence in you. But I want to say to you, and I need you to hear this, the culture that we see today in the Bahamas, where contracts are going primarily to friends, or bad things are happening, bad decisions are being made, and policymakers look the other way as if they don't see. Or people come in broke and leave politics wealthy, or who fail to fill out their disclosure forms. Under my leadership, that kind of nonsense will stop. Bahamians are exhausted. They are exhausted with this kind of politics. So this is my promise to them, to the Bahamian people, to all of you that are home. We have high expectations of our candidates. We will treat in our governance every Bahamian with dignity and respect, as citizens who deserve the same access, the same quality of service as anyone with name, face recognition. We want our people to have opportunities because we believe everybody gotta eat. The single mother in Baintown, the young single mother in Mayfield Park, the young man in Key West Street, they all deserve the same opportunity as the fat cat, no matter where he or she lives. And if anyone believes that we are prepared to lower the standard, I want you to hear me good. If any one of our colleagues decide that there is a cookie jar or two that they wish to put their hands in, I can't protect you. I ain't interested in protecting you. And the truth is, the Bahamian people will not protect you. And the history books will show that our people will not be kind to you. But I thank God for these candidates who have made a commitment to govern with integrity, to govern with humility, to serve every Bahamian. God bless you. We work for you. You are our bosses. Let me say this, because you know there are some folks going throughout the Family Islands and on airwaves telling investors and Bahamians, if the F&M come in, all of y'all lose your job. The truth is, the Bahamas cannot continue to progress if when new governments come in, the first thing that happens is we fire people who were hired under the past administration. If we stop and cancel every contract because it was signed by our predecessor. We are a mature party. We believe in continuity in government. We want Bahamians to work side by side with each other to demonstrate Bahamian excellence and to grow this economy. So we ain't coming to fire you because you were hired by them. If you're doing your job, if you're serving our people, if you're delivering better for the Bahamian, we stand with you and for you. That's why we say our manifesto. Our manifesto is our agreement with the Bahamian people that we are supporting Vision 2040 as outlined in our National Development Plan. We believe parties should compete with each other to fulfill the National Development Plan, that Bahamians from all walks of life said these are the priorities that are important to us. That's our commitment to you tonight. And so as I take my seat, I want to share with you just a few things you can trust that we will deliver on your behalf. One, we've said it before earlier tonight. We do not believe that VAT should be on the variety of items that's healthy and good for our people. Not on the electricity, not on medication, not on feminine hygiene products or foods, healthy foods. We make that commitment to you. Secondly, through agriculture, we will shave $500 million of our $1 billion food bill. It is unbelievable that in 2026, we continue to import more than 95% of every food that we consume in this Bahamas. We will change that through partnerships with food stores, with hotels, with restaurants, working with churches, creating community gardens and backyard farming. We could do better in the Bahamas. Are you prepared for an agriculture revolution? We are committed to a housing revolution to make sure that young Bahamians, particularly public servants who are on the front line, police officers, nurses, social workers, teachers, it cannot be right that in 2026, that you cannot afford land in New Providence when government has land. When you can't afford land, when government can acquire land and cap the price to give you a fighting chance to own a home of your own. We will change it. We'll make sure that through tax breaks, through ensuring that you can come with no funds down, that you can own a piece of the rock. We want the process to be faster. That's why for every engineer in this room out there, we intend to outsource the inspection services to a large extent so plans can move more quickly for commercial and residential projects. We too slow in the Bahamas. And so we say, we are absolutely confident that in 5 years working with the private sector that we can build at least 5,000 homes in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We have the talent, the private sector has the money, we can do it. And for those who say that that ambition is too big, we say your hope and confidence in our people is too small. And for every mother who is struggling to determine where you will leave your child for proper daycare, we are telling you, we're committed to expanding what Jeff Lloyd started, universal preschool, and also to make available to those qualifying mothers $200 a month to make sure we can help her go to work while her child has safe childcare. And that for young men and women who are entering the apprenticeship program or technical and vocational education, we believe it is only right for at least a minimum of $100 to help defray the cost, whether it's gas, whether it's food. But while you train, we wish to subsidize you to give you a fighting chance. And we believe that this country can succeed if we empower the business persons in this room. That's why Kwesi Thompson and others have worked closely with us to design a program where we will double the $50 million that we were giving when we were in government, small grants and loans. We'll double it to $100 million to make sure our businesses can grow and succeed. I want us to be honest with each other. The Bahamas, if you look at it as a table, we have two legs under this wobbly table. Tourism, the second one is financial services. It's not enough to sustain what we have and to build back better for the future. So we believe we have to diversify the economy. So to all the creatives that are out there tonight, from one creative to another, that's all the athletes, all the journalists, all the persons that are in the arts, we make a commitment to you to invest in the orange economy so that your skills can be used, that you can generate revenue, that we can export talent overseas. We can have plenty Rick Fox and VJ Edge comes overseas. Plenty Chisholms overseas. Plenty performers overseas. For all the Junkanouers. Hey Rick, all the Junkanouers who was bullied by Garden Hills. There will be a new day in Junkanoo under our leadership. Imagine us transforming over the hill with a housing revolution, removing dilapidated houses and building new houses that Bahamians can occupy, creating green spaces where we can have recreation. But imagine multi-purpose Junkanoo shacks where year-round Junkanoo artists can build costumes, build miniatures, build cowbells, build drums, invite tourists to see shows. Imagine the excitement that we could create over the hill. Urban renewal has not gone fast enough, hasn't gone far enough. Think about it, urban renewal with no urban planners. In 5 years, you should be able to see a difference with the FNM being in power. I give you the commitment from the top of Fort Fincastle all the way to Robinson Road. You'll see a difference. From Chippenham all the way to Village Road, you'll see a difference. There should be no houses over the hill with outside toilet. It's wrong in 2026. We can change the way our people live and create opportunities in the process. And so I want to say to the voter that's home, that's trying to determine whether or not they're going to vote. If you have challenges with your government because your government left you in South and Central Andros with no banks, I just want you to know we got to make sure you have a bank in South Andros, that you have it in our family islands. We will abolish the bank through the post office system and work with the clearinghouse to make sure that commercial banks lose no money as they provide a service that is needed for Bahamians throughout our family islands. My colleagues have talked about where we stand on immigration. I only wish to say this much. No one who comes into the Bahamas illegally can ever have a pathway of becoming a Bahamian citizen. We will be firm, but we will be humane. There are some persons who are entitled to Bahamian citizenship who have been here for 30 years, and the system has been slow in dealing with the matter. But there have been many who have come in the last 5 years and they got straight because of who they know. It is not right. It is not fair. We will fix the broken system and we will remove those that have corrupted it. The Prime Minister thinks that our national identity being used is an isolated case. It took less than a week to prove that he was dead wrong. That far too many people have passports they shouldn't have, NIB cards they should not have, obtain birth certificates from the registrar that they shouldn't have. The FNM will fix that. You can take that to the bank. And so finally, let me say, if you're home and you're wondering why should you vote? If you refuse to vote, if good people like you refuse to vote, we can have some bad people being elected. We need you to stand up. Our country needs leadership that cares, that's prepared to talk straight to you even when the news at first isn't good. We need you to not only register and transfer, we need you to vote. To vote this government out of office. Some of you may say it's not going to make a difference. I want you to have confidence. Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in the impact that you can have. Have confidence in your neighbor. We also ask you to have confidence in this team. 41 men and women who've signed up for duty. Not because we're looking for a stepping stone to empower ourselves, but because we love you. We care enough about this country that despite feeling moments of hopelessness, we bounce back every single time to stand in the gap for you. Your children's future is worth fighting for. That's why we're asking you to vote. That's why we're asking you to put the tough questions to us. We will answer you each time. Because why? Because we work for you. FNMs, we love you. We thank God for the stand that you are taking in this election. So knock on every door. Call family and friends. It doesn't matter who they supported in the last election. Tell them that we will make a difference in changing this country for the better. PLPs, we have no problems with any PLP. We just believe you need better leadership. And so we present that chance to you today. That if you give us a chance, you can do no worse under us than you're doing under Davis and Cooper. We mean you well. We won't lie to you. When we say we can sell a hotel, we can sell it. When we tell you 120 in the bank, bet your bottom dollar it's there. When we tell officers that we can give you a thing, it ain't gonna be that little thing they gave you. When we tell immigration officers that it's a new day in immigration, you can take that to the bank. We love you, FNMs. We love you, PLPs. We love Bahamians of every political persuasion. The FNM is the best choice for the government of the Bahamas. You can trust us. You can trust us. You can trust us. God bless you. And God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. FNMs. When I say FNM, you say victory. FNMs. FNMs. FNMs.
It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Tonight, a 30-year-old man is dead following a fatal stabbing off of Carmichael Road. Also, a 16-year-old boy in hospital nursing a gunshot wound. And later, we meet the newest centenarian on the island, celebrating 100 years of life and wisdom. Eyewitness News, the weekend edition starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us, topping the weekend edition.
It was a busy weekend for the Royal Bahamas Police Force as officers now investigate a fatal stabbing in the Ferguson subdivision off of Carmichael Road. According to preliminary reports, police were alerted shortly before midnight and responded to the scene. Upon arrival, officers discovered a 30-year-old man lying in front of a residence with apparent injuries to the neck. Emergency medical services examined the man and confirmed he had no signs of life. Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent of Police, Sharia King, provided an update to the media confirming that investigations are underway.
Our investigators have begun their preliminary investigation And what we have learned thus far is that there was a private function at a residence through this corner when an altercation between two males occurred, resulting in one of those males being stabbed to the upper body. The deceased is in his 30s, and we're asking anyone with any information concerning this matter to kindly assist the police and call the police to provide that information to assist us in our investigation. Would caution the general public, as we have been cautioning the general public, that there is a better way. Find a resolution to your conflict, because we have a PSA that is out there now. Let's fight it out. Let's talk it out. So we are appealing to the general public to resolve their conflict in a meaningful manner.
Police are investigating a shooting that left a 16-year-old boy hospitalized Saturday morning in the area of Reef Lane off of Malcolm Road. According to reports, just before 11 a.m., the teen was standing in a yard when a masked gunman exited a black Nissan Cube and approached him. Police say the suspect asked about a specific individual, and when the teen said he did not know the person, the gunman opened fire. The victim was shot in the right thigh and taken to hospital, where he's listed in fair condition. The suspect fled the scene in the vehicle. Police are investigating the matter. Still talking news from the crime beat. Police are investigating a police-involved shooting Friday night in the Carmichael Road West area that left a 33-year-old suspect hospitalized. Authorities say an off-duty police was sitting in the vehicle outside a business just after 8 p.m. when he was approached by a masked armed man. Police say the suspect attempted to rob the officer, who responded by firing his service weapon. The suspect reportedly returned fire. The suspect was shot multiple times and remained in guarded condition. The officer was not injured. A firearm and other evidence was recovered from the scene, while the officer's vehicle was also damaged by gunfire. Police are appealing for witness or anyone with information to call 911 or 919 or the Crime Stoppers 328 tips. Investigation into this matter is ongoing. Also in news from the crime beat. Police in Bimini have arrested 3 Haitian nationals after they were found in possession of fraudulent documents. The incident happened Saturday morning at the South Bimini International Airport, where officers were alerted by the Bahamas Immigration Department during a routine check of passengers arriving from the capital. Authorities say the 3 men presented national insurance cards that raised red flags. Police worked along with the National Insurance Board to examine the documents and confirm they were fraudulent. The men, aged 29, 30, and 36, were taken into custody. Investigation into this matter are ongoing.
As the 2026 general election inches closer, Pine Ridge Member of Parliament Ginger Moxie expressing confidence that following the results from the polls, all constituencies in Grand Bahama will be represented by the Progressive Liberal Party. Moxie says from her view, the PLP has put forth candidates who are ready to work and who will bring what she says progress to the island.
I'm extremely confident. I think they can stand not just on who they are as individuals, because we have a very, very strong team, but also on the work that the Progressive Liberal Party has been able to do, the work that our Prime Minister has been able to do throughout the entire country, delivering on behalf of the people on Grand Bahama Island.
When questioned by reporters on why should the electoral of Grand Bahama grant the PLP a chance, Moxie gave a snapshot of the work that has already been done.
Unemployment is the lowest it's been in 18 years. You know, you have buildings that are being demolished and repurposed. That Grand Bahamians are returning home because there are opportunities to return home too. You know, people talk about the traffic jam. Yes, there's traffic jam because there's a lot more people here, a lot more vehicles here moving about. But Grand Bahama is in a much better place than where we met it when I came to office.
Opposition Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard is appealing to young voters who may be undecided about turning out for the May 12th general election, acknowledging that he understands their hesitation. Speaking at an F&M rally over in Abaco, Pintard says he believes voter empathy among young people stems from successive governments failing to address the issues affecting young Bahamians.
Again, I understand the frustrations that Bahamians have, particularly young Bahamians. They don't nobody run. Red, yellow, black, they don't nobody run. And a part of it is because we have failed to solve some basic problems that they can't understand why we can't solve it. Like, I mean, how is it possible you encourage people to go off to school, they come back home, and they are overqualified for a job? It takes somebody, sometimes with a bachelor's degree, take them 3 years to get a job. Many of them just go back off to school.
Pintard is pledging that if elected, addressing the crisis in the education sector will be a top priority under his leadership, with the goal of ensuring that those pursuing tertiary education no longer have to look abroad as their first option.
Or you tell kids that go to BTVI, they get there, and then they find out, oh, there's no space. Or the registration is so high that they figure they still can't get it. We have to solve basic problems so people could restore their hope and trust in us.
Coalition of Independent supporters say they're confident in the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, chances to continue to represent the constituency following the 2026 election. COI supporter Monique Pinder says she's sticking by Lewis even though he previously represented the constituency under the Free National Movement banner, noting from her view the COI will bring real change.
I'm glad that 2026 is here because I was waiting for that from 2021. I believe it. I will pray for it. I manifest it. I claim it. We're done with too much foolishness. You know, we are done with the mess. We have no accountability, no nothing. We're looking for something that somebody can stand up for the people, the right. We need laws to be done in the Bahamas. We ain't got no law in the Bahamas.
Also backing Lewis is COI former candidate for Central Grand Bahama, Latanya Strawn, who emphasized the party has confidence in Lewis and the strategies he brings to the table to further Grand Bahama.
He's brought a good insight to the Bahamian people, letting them know that change is necessary in our country. And so I support him 100%. I am 1,000% confident. You know why? Because I believe that there's a group of people in this Commonwealth of the Bahamas that understands that we are in dire need of change, and that which he presents is what we are backing. So I believe that everybody in his constituency is going to support it.
And still to come tonight, freedom and profit. White Family Islanders are choosing business over traditional jobs. And later, dozens rolled up their sleeves at the national park as Earth Day efforts make a lasting impact. We have got more, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Is changing. It's bringing new challenges, but also new opportunities. The truth is, our economy always left too many Bahamians out. Now we're opening new doors in agriculture, tourism, energy, entrepreneurship, providing grants, scholarships, national service, and upskilling. A new generation is rising, and we're finally moving in the right direction, building an economy that includes everyone.
Play for fun, not for funds.
In the Bahamas, we play hard, but we live smart.
We love a little competition.
A little excitement, a little thrill.
And at Island Luck, gaming is all about entertainment.
Shared moments, celebrating the wins, and enjoying the experience.
The key is simple. Play for fun, not for funds. When you set a budget before you start,
and know your limits, you stay in control.
And when you're in control, the game stays what it's meant to be.
Fun, So play for fun, not for funds.
Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Foreign commercial banks have been closing across our islands. For thousands of Bahamians, our country's post office savings banks are a lifeline, providing safe and secure banking. But Michael Pintard says,
We will abolish the bank through the post office system.
that's a risk Bahamians can't afford. That's why